Electoral College votes have secured Joe Biden's election win, clearing the way for him to take on the presidency in a few weeks' time. Joining me now, Queensland Liberal Senator James McGrath. Well, let's talk US politics, Senator McGrath. Look, this is not unsurprising. Joe Biden has become the president, or will become the president of the United States. I want to ask you, in the context of this blowtorch environment with China, how important does our relationship with the Biden administration become in the wake of the tensions that are existing right now between Australia and the CCP?
President-elect Biden is our new best friend. As much as people, including myself, wanted to see Trump re-elected, Biden is going to be the next president of the United States, and it's very important we have a strong relationship with him. It's very important that Australia always acts in our best interest, but if there's a choice between China and America, we choose America every single time. They're a fellow democracy. We've fought wars with them against dictatorships, and it is very important that President-elect Biden and the members of his administration know that we here in Australia are friends of theirs, are allies of them, and wish them all the best.
James, I see US Attorney General William Barr has resigned. Now, Donald Trump was quite critical of the Attorney General leading into the election. He believed he should have been a lot more strident when it came to the Hunter Biden issue and the prosecution of Hunter Biden in relation to his dealings with the Ukraine. Are you surprised that William Barr would resign?
I'm not that surprised, actually, that Attorney General Barr has stepped down. The Trump administration, especially towards the end, has seen quite a turnover of senior officials, and those who are legal officers have a duty to the law that transcends politics. So it is not surprising that Mr. Barr has decided to step down, admittedly only a month before the new president takes over. It is important in any election or anything that not only are elections fair, transparent and accountable, they're seen to be fair, transparent and accountable. And it's obvious that President Trump believes, and along with a number of his supporters, believe that there are issues with the elections in the United States. And that belief was not shared by Attorney General Barr, and also in relation to the matters concerning the son of President-elect Biden, that Barr took a very legalistic approach, and I'm not going to condemn him for that. That is something that Attorney Generals have always done.
Senator McGrath, you've been working assiduously behind the scenes on electoral reform, in particular looking at the way we vote in this country, looking at a whole range of issues, including compulsory voting, non-compulsory voting. A couple of things. The first is, do you believe that we should adopt the US system and make voting not compulsory? And secondly, what do you think about Queensland? I had Pauline Hanson on last night, and she was lamenting the fact that Anastasia Palaszczuk was able to tell a couple of porkies before the election, backtrack 2 weeks after the election, particularly around voluntary assisted dying. And she said if we had a upper house, a House of Review here in Queensland, things might be different. What are your thoughts on those two issues?
Well, I think Pauline's being very generous, saying that Palaszczuk only said a couple of porkies, that their entire campaign was it one giant porky. It was a pork chop of a campaign when it comes to telling fibs. So I'll gently disagree with Senator Hanson there. Look, an upper house is something to consider in relation to Queensland. I know think tanks like the IPA have certainly proposed looking at an upper house for Queensland. I know that some of my colleagues are pushing for a new state in the north. But one thing we can do is look at the committee system that works in Queensland. We've just had estimates over the last week or so, and they've been an absolute farce. David Crucible and his team have been very good at getting information out of that process. But the way that the Labor have used their numbers just to stop the opposition from asking real questions. And I speak as someone who chairs a glorious committee known as the Education and Employment Legislation Committee. We've got the numbers on that committee. We do the estimates in the Senate, and I let Labor have as many questions as they want. In fact, they probably get 90% of the questions, because the point of estimates is for the opposition to question the executive, and you don't see that here in Queensland. But in relation to your first question, I personally support voluntary voting. I believe in freedom. I don't think you should be compelled to do too many things. You know, driving on the left-hand side of the road is probably one thing, but compelling people to vote is something that I personally don't support. So what I've done with this committee report is suggest that we change from compulsory preferential voting to optional preferential voting. So yes, you still have to go down and vote and get your name marked off the roll, but you don't have to vote for a bunch of buggers that you necessarily don't want to support. So you can just vote one, or you can fill the entire ballot paper up. So I'm just trying to get that happy compromise. The whole point of the report that came down last week was about empowering the voter. It is about giving the information to the voter and allowing them to make as many decisions or as few decisions as they want to. This is especially in relation to optional preferential voting.
Well, Senator McGrath, it's been great to have you on the show this year. Have a terrific Christmas, and I must ask you one final question. Where exactly are you at the moment? What's that behind you?
I'm in Toowong. I'm at the Catalyst Radiology Centre, and I'm opening it as we speak at the moment with Julian Simmons and Trevor Evans. They're downstairs with the owners of this practice, and because coming on your show is so important, I didn't want to say no to it. So we've set up a temporary little studio here with an MRI behind me, because two things. A, this is a great business, putting money into medical, helping medical people, and also helping people find out what's wrong with them. But also the government has done tons for this sector. But I wish you and everybody watching on Channel 83, Gleeso across Australia, a Merry Christmas, drink lots, eat lots, and have lots of sleep.
There he is. Toodaloo. Good to see you today, James McGrath.
Toodaloo.
There he is. We've never had a politician standing in front of an MRI, but there he is.